Keiko still walks to the market every morning. She's 74. She lives alone in a small apartment in Matsumoto, Japan. No car, no elevator, just her, a canvas bag, and about 15 minutes on foot, uphill on the way back. Her neighbor, who is 12 years younger, stopped making that walk 2 years ago. Knees, she said. Mornings got too hard. Keiko didn't do anything dramatic to stay mobile. She didn't join a gym. She doesn't follow a program. She just does the same thing every morning before she does anything else. She learned it from her mother. Her mother learned it from hers. Here's what's interesting, though Keiko's not unusual. Nagano Prefecture in Japan has one of the highest life expectancies on Earth, around 84 to 85 years. Nearly 30% of the population is age 65 or older, and more than 90,000 people in Japan are currently over 100. These are not special cases. They're a pattern. Researchers have spent years trying to understand why. The food gets mentioned, social connection comes up. But one of the quieter findings, the one that tends to get less attention, is a concept in Japan that doesn't quite translate directly into English. The closest way to describe it is beginning softly, not slowly in a lazy sense, softly, intentionally, like you're easing into the day rather than launching yourself at it. In these parts of Japan, where people live the longest, this kind of quiet morning movement is just normal. And when you dig, this keeps coming up. It's not a program, it's not a wellness trend, it's just this quiet, unhurried ritual people do when they get up. So what is it, and why does it work? Ask anyone over 50 how their mornings feel, and you'll get different variations of the same answer. Stiff, slow, like the body needs convincing. The hips don't want to cooperate. The back takes a while to straighten up properly. There's a heaviness behind the eyes. That coffee helps, but doesn't fully fix. Most people assume this is just aging, and in a way, they're right, but not in the way they think. Here's what's actually happening. After a night of stillness, your body is not ready to move immediately, not because it can't, but because it hasn't transitioned yet. You've been still for hours. So when you suddenly stand, everything has to catch up at once. That's where the stiffness comes from. It's not damage, just delay. In fact, more than 70% of Japanese adults participate in regular health checkups. Not out of fear, but out of a deeply ingrained belief that maintaining your health is simply part of daily life. There's even a national morning exercise tradition in Japan called Ragio Taiso, a gentle routine of stretches and movements broadcast on the radio every day since 1928. Millions of people, many of them older adults, do it every single morning. It's not intense, it takes about 3 minutes, but it has never stopped. What you're about to see is a simplified version of that idea. 5 small movements, done gently and regularly, and often that's enough. Number 1, ankle circles. Before you even get up from the bed, there's already something you can do. Still lying on your back, simply rotate both ankles in slow circles, one direction, then the other. 10 rotations each way. That's it. Sounds almost too simple. This gets circulation moving into the lower legs and feet before you even stand. Because after a night of stillness, the circulation in your lower legs has been sitting. This gets it moving again, gently. That moment when you first get upright, when some people feel unsteady or heavy in the legs, is noticeably different when you've done this first. By the time you reach the kitchen, you'll notice that difference immediately. Keiko says this is the one she never skips, even on lazy mornings. Number 2, knees to chest, still on your back. Bring one knee slowly toward your chest. Both hands around the shin for an easy grip. Hold it for a few seconds. Lower it. Then do the same with the other knee. Don't force it, don't hold your breath, and just a slow, easy pull. Your lower back is one of the first places that gets stiff overnight, especially if you sleep curled on your side. This movement creates space in your lower spine before you ask it to hold you upright all day. Think about your first hour after waking. Sitting, bending forward to put on socks, picking something up. Every one of those movements pulls on the lower back. This is what quietly prepares you for all of it. Before we move on to the next movement, just a quick note. If you find these routines helpful, you can support this by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. We are building a community here. People who want to stay mobile, independent, and well into older age. And if you know someone who could benefit from this, feel free to share it with them. Now let's continue. Number 3, seated shoulder rolls. You're up right now, feet on the floor. This is the first time your body is almost fully vertical. Roll your shoulders forward slowly, 5 times, then backward 5 times. The upper back and the space between the shoulder blades carry more tension than most people realize. During sleep, they often stay in one compressed position for hours. The neck, the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades are all connected. Most people carry it straight into the day without realizing. It's part of why you feel that foggy, slightly stiff feeling at the top of your back that follows you through the whole morning. It's also why the first few hours can feel mentally heavy as well as physically slow. This is one of the simplest ways to address it before it settles in. A shoulder roll isn't just stretching for its own sake. It's a reset, and it takes about 40 seconds. Number 4, standing hip sway. Now stand up, place one hand on the wall or the back of a chair if you want support. Now sway, gently, side to side. Let your weight shift from one foot to the other, slowly, like you're moving to a song only you can hear. Your hips are your body's center of gravity. When they're stiff, it doesn't always show up as hip pain. It shows up as everything feeling slightly harder. Climbing the stairs, the walk to the car, getting in and out of a seat, turning around in the kitchen. You just notice that the morning feels heavier than it should. This movement quietly addresses that, and it costs almost nothing. Don't force it. Don't bounce. Just sway slowly and easily. One woman who started doing this said it felt ridiculous for the first 3 days. By the end of the week, she noticed she was just walking differently, more fluidly, less like she was negotiating with her own body. Number 5, slow neck release. Sit back down again. Let your right ear drop slowly toward your right shoulder. Don't push it. Just let the weight of your head do the work. Hold it for a few seconds. Then the other side. Follow that with a slow chin tuck. Gently bring the chin toward the chest. Hold for a moment. Lift back up. The neck holds the head in place all day, every day, which by the way weighs around 5 kilograms. After a night of being locked in one position, the muscles at the base of the skull, often the tightest thing in the body and the most ignored. That persistent mental fog in the first hour of the morning. The heaviness behind the eyes that feels like tiredness even when you slept well. A lot of it lives right there, in those 2 or 3 minutes of release. This release isn't about flexibility. It's about the mental clarity that comes when the tension in the upper neck and base of the skull finally lets go. None of these movements are complicated. None of them require equipment, cleared space, or a mat. They don't need special clothes. They can be done in a bedroom, in the dark, before the day has technically started. The total time is somewhere between 5 and 7 minutes. Every morning you do this, you're telling your body something, just through the simple act of showing up for those few minutes before the day takes over. The research on long-term mobility in adults over 60 is remarkably consistent on one point. In the communities where people live longest, with Japan leading among them, the common thread is never intensity. It's continuity. The people who stay mobile longest are almost never the ones who worked hardest in their younger years. They're the ones who kept moving gently, regularly, without ever really stopping. All from a quiet, unremarkable morning habit that accumulates over years into something that looks, from the outside, like remarkable health. Keiko doesn't think of her 6-minute morning movement as a habit she has to maintain. It's just how her morning starts. Just like brushing your teeth or opening the window. Before the kettle, before anything. Keiko, when asked why she still does it after all these years, said something simple. It's not for fitness. It's just so the day starts as mine. That's it. 6 minutes, 5 movements, and the morning feels a little more like yours. So start with 1 tomorrow morning. See how it feels. If this was useful, share with someone who will benefit from a movement or two. Also, if you want more videos on small things, done gently, that make everyday life feel easier, Subscribe so you don't miss out. See you next time.